Hey there you, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to tackle 10 recipes that every cook, even you, should know. We're talking about basic dishes that will make you look like a great cook, not someone who shouldn't be in the kitchen. So put on your apron, grab your knives and get ready to learn from the best. This is my kitchen and I'm going to teach you how to cook like a pro. First up, we're starting with a breakfast classic, pancakes. And let me tell you, we won't have any flat, rubbery pancakes in my kitchen. We're going to make a batter so light and fluffy, it'll make you want to celebrate.
We'll start by whisking together flour, sugar, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. This is easy, everyone. Even you can't mess this up. Get your wet ingredients ready. Eggs, milk, and a bit of melted butter. And don't even think about using that nasty margarine. Now slowly add the wet ingredients to the dry, whisking until you have a smooth batter. Lumps? Get rid of them. We want a silky smooth batter, you hear me?
Heat a lightly oiled griddle or pan over medium heat. Too hot and you'll burn them. Too cold and they'll be doughy. Get it right. Pour the batter onto the hot surface, about 1/4 cup per pancake. Let them cook until bubbles start to form on top. Then it's time for the important part, the flip. One quick movement, don't hesitate. There you have it, a perfect pancake.
Next up, we're tackling another classic, the grilled cheese sandwich. Don't be surprised. Even a simple dish like this can be amazing with the right technique.
First, choose your bread carefully. We're not using that cheap white bread here. Go for something with flavor and texture like sourdough or rye. And the butter, we're not using that spray-on stuff. Get yourself some good quality unsalted butter and spread it generously on one side of each slice of bread.
Now for the cheese. This is where you can get creative. Cheddar is a classic, but don't be afraid to try Gruyere, Gouda, or even a bit of Brie. Layer the cheese evenly on the unbuttered side of one slice of bread.
Now take your other slice of bread, buttered side up, and place it on top of the cheese. Heat a pan over medium heat, no oil needed here. The butter will do the job. Place the sandwich in the pan and cook for 2 to 3 minutes per side, or until the bread is golden brown and the cheese is melted and gooey.
Serve it up hot and watch it disappear. Even a 5-year-old could make this, but you managed to do it. Listen up. Today, we're diving into the art of making the perfect side dish that everyone loves, but often gets wrong. Mashed potatoes are a classic side dish, a staple at family dinners and holiday feasts. But so many of you get it wrong. Overcooked, under-seasoned, or just plain lumpy. Dry, lumpy, bland. It's a disaster. No one wants to eat that. We're going to fix that right now. I'm here to show you the secrets to making mashed potatoes that are creamy, flavorful, and absolutely delicious. I'm going to teach you how to make creamy, dreamy garlic mashed potatoes that will make any dish better. Trust me, once you try this, you'll never go back.
First things first, choose the right potatoes. We want Yukon Golds. They have a natural buttery flavor and a creamy texture that's perfect for mashing. They've got that natural buttery flavor and a creamy texture that's perfect for mashing. This is key to achieving that smooth, rich consistency. None of that watery stuff some of you try to use. Watery potatoes will ruin the texture and flavor. Peel and quarter those potatoes. This ensures they cook evenly and quickly. Then put them in a pot of cold salted water. Starting them in cold water helps them cook evenly from the inside out. Remember, start them in cold water to make sure they cook evenly. This step is crucial for achieving the perfect texture. Bring it to a boil and cook until they're fork tender, about 15 to 20 minutes. You want them soft enough to be easily mashed, not raw. You want them soft enough to be easily mashed, not raw. This is where many people go wrong. Undercooked potatoes will never mash properly.
Now, here's where you need to pay attention. The next steps are all about infusing flavor and achieving that perfect creamy texture. While the potatoes are boiling, we're going to add some flavor to our milk. This is a game changer. In a saucepan, add milk, butter, and a few cloves of crushed garlic. The garlic will infuse the milk with a wonderful aroma and flavor. Let it simmer gently, allowing the garlic to do its thing. This step will elevate your mashed potatoes to a whole new level of deliciousness.
Once the potatoes are cooked, drain them well. Don't even think about skipping this step. Nobody wants watery mashed potatoes.
Now get your masher ready. No blenders, you hear me? We want a bit of texture, not baby food. Add the warm garlic-infused milk and butter mixture to the potatoes. Now mash. Use your muscles.
Season generously with salt and pepper. Remember, seasoning is key. Taste and adjust the seasoning as needed. You want that perfect balance of salty, garlicky goodness.
And for goodness sake, make sure it's piping hot when you serve it. Nobody wants cold mashed potatoes. There you have it. Creamy, dreamy, garlicky mashed potatoes that will have your guests asking for more. Now stop messing around and get to mashing.
Spaghetti bolognese, a classic Italian dish that's so often messed up. But don't worry, today I'm going to show you how to make a bolognese sauce so good it'll feel like you're in Italy.
First, gather your ingredients. We're talking good quality ingredients here, none of that cheap processed stuff. We need finely chopped onions, carrots and celery.
Heat some olive oil in a large pan over medium heat. Then add the chopped vegetables and cook until softened and lightly golden. Remember, we're not rushing this. We want those flavors to develop.
Now for the star of the show, the meat. We're using a mix of ground beef and Italian sausage for a rich flavor. Brown the meat thoroughly, breaking it up with a wooden spoon as it cooks. No pink bits, you hear me?
Once the meat is browned, drain any excess fat. This step is crucial to ensure that our sauce isn't overly greasy. By removing the fat, we allow the flavors of the meat and other ingredients to shine through more clearly. We want a flavorful sauce, not a greasy mess. Skimming off the fat helps us achieve a rich, velvety texture that will coat the pasta beautifully.
Now, it's time to deglaze the pan. This process involves adding liquid to the hot pan to lift all those delicious brown bits stuck to the bottom. Add a splash of red wine, which not only helps deglaze but also adds a depth of flavor to the sauce. Scraping up those tasty browned bits from the bottom of the pan is essential. These bits are packed with flavor and will enhance the overall taste of our sauce. Let the wine reduce slightly, making the flavor stronger. This reduction process concentrates the flavors, giving our sauce a robust and complex taste.
Next, add crushed tomatoes and tomato paste. The tomatoes provide a fresh, tangy base, while the paste adds a rich, concentrated tomato flavor. And beef broth to the pan, seasoned generously with salt and pepper. The broth adds a savory depth, and the seasoning brings all the flavors together, and a pinch of sugar. This small addition balances the acidity of the tomatoes, creating a harmonious flavor profile. Bring the sauce to a simmer. This gentle cooking method allows the flavors to meld together beautifully. Then reduce the heat to low and cover. This slow simmering process is key to developing a rich, deep flavor in the sauce. Let it cook for at least 2 hours, stirring occasionally. Remember, patience is key. The longer it simmers, the more the flavors will develop and intensify.
While the sauce simmers, cook your spaghetti according to the package directions. This ensures the pasta is perfectly al dente. Once the pasta is cooked, drain it thoroughly. This step prevents the pasta from becoming waterlogged and diluting the sauce. And toss it with a knob of butter. The butter adds a silky texture and a rich flavor to the pasta.
Now ladle that beautiful bolognese sauce over the spaghetti. Make sure each strand is well coated with the rich, meaty sauce. And finish with a generous grating of Parmesan cheese. The cheese adds a salty, nutty flavor that complements the sauce perfectly. There you have it, a spaghetti bolognese to be proud of. This dish is a true labor of love, and the result is well worth the effort. Now dig in and enjoy. Savor each bite and appreciate the rich, complex flavors you've created. Guacamole is the king of dips, but some of you treat it like a crime scene. Lumpy, watery, brown. It's a disgrace.
But don't worry, I'm here to save your guacamole and turn you into an avocado artist. First and foremost, the avocado. It's the most important part of this dish, so choose wisely.
You want them ripe, but not too ripe. Give them a gentle squeeze. They should yield slightly to the touch, not feel like mush. Once you've found the perfect avocados, carefully cut them in half lengthwise, working your knife around the pit.
Now, give it a good twist. Separate the halves and remove the pit. Be careful. We don't want any accidents in the kitchen.
Using a fork, roughly mash the avocado. Don't overwork it, we want some texture. Remember, this is guacamole, not baby food.
Now it's time to add some flavor. Finely dice some red onion, tomato, and cilantro. And for a bit of a kick, mince some jalapeno.
Add the diced ingredients to the mashed avocado, along with a squeeze of fresh lime juice. The lime juice not only adds freshness, but also helps to prevent the guacamole from turning brown.
Season generously with salt and pepper. Now, give everything a good stir, making sure all the flavors are well combined. Have a taste, and adjust the seasoning if needed.
Remember, guacamole should be vibrant and bursting with flavor. There you have it. Perfect guacamole, ready to make your snacks even better. Serve it with tortilla chips on toast or even as a topping for tacos or burritos. Get creative and enjoy. Chicken tikka masala, a true classic. But you can't have a decent tikka masala without an amazing marinade.
We're talking yogurt, ginger, garlic, and lots of spices. Get your hands dirty and rub those flavors into the chicken. Don't be shy.
This is where the magic starts, building those layers of flavor. We're talking turmeric, cumin, coriander, paprika, a touch of chili for a kick.
And don't even think about using pre-made paste. This is about fresh ingredients, you hear me? Now cover it up and let it marinate. The longer the better, but at least a couple of hours. Trust me, this step is important for tender, flavorful chicken.
While the chicken's getting friendly with the marinade, let's talk sauce. This is the heart and soul of the tikka masala, so pay attention.
Onions, tomatoes, ginger, garlic, green chilies, get them chopped and prepped. We're building a flavor bomb here, and it all starts with a good base.
Heat up some oil, throw in those onions and let them caramelize. We're talking golden brown, not burnt to a crisp.
Then, in goes the ginger, garlic, chilies, followed by your spices. Tomato puree, a touch of cream, and simmer, simmer, simmer. This is where the magic happens. The flavors coming together to create an amazing sauce.
Listen up, vegetarian doesn't have to be boring, all right? A good stir fry is all about bright colors, freshness, and that perfect crunch.
First things first, prep your veggies. We're talking carrots, broccoli, peppers, mushrooms, whatever you fancy. But for goodness sake, slice them thin and keep them separate.
This isn't some sloppy stew, it's about precision. Each ingredient needs its moment to shine, so don't overcrowd the pan.
And while you're at it, get your sauce ready. Soy sauce, oyster sauce, a splash of sesame oil, maybe a touch of chili if you like it spicy. Have it measured out and ready to go because timing is everything in a stir fry.
Now, the star of the show, the wok. Get it really hot. You should be able to feel the heat from here.
Then, a drizzle of oil, and we're off. First in, your aromatics. Ginger, garlic, chilies. A quick sizzle to release those fragrances. Then boom, in go your veggies. Hardest first.
Keep it moving, toss, turn, don't let anything burn. We want a nice char, a bit of bite, not mushy vegetables. Are we clear?
Once they're almost cooked, in goes your sauce. Let it bubble and thicken, coating the vegetables. And remember, taste as you go. This is your stir fry. Make it your own. Bruschetta, a classic Italian starter. Simple, elegant, and when done right, absolutely delicious. But don't think for a minute that this is an amateur dish.
We're starting with the bread, a good, crusty baguette sliced on an angle, about an inch thick. None of that flimsy supermarket stuff.
Now, olive oil. And I'm not talking about that cheap, tasteless stuff. We want extra virgin, cold-pressed, the good stuff. Drizzle it generously over the bread and rub it in.
Next, the grill, or a griddle pan if you don't have a grill. We want those beautiful char marks, that smoky flavor. Toast the bread on both sides until it's golden brown and crispy.
Now for the best part, the topping, and the beauty of bruschetta is you can get really creative here. Tomatoes, basil, garlic, the classic combination. Dice those tomatoes finely, mince the garlic, tear the basil leaves. Mix it all together with a good amount of olive oil, salt, pepper, and a pinch of sugar.
Spoon that beautiful mixture onto your toasted bread, and for an extra touch, a drizzle of balsamic glaze. Sweet, tangy, and oh so good. There you have it. Bruschetta done right. Simple, elegant, and bursting with flavor. Now, get those appetizers out there.
Right. Enough with the fancy dishes. Let's get back to basics with a good tomato basil soup. This isn't some watery bland soup. We're talking about a flavor bomb that will warm you up.
First things first, get those tomatoes roasting. Don't even think about skipping this step. Roasting brings out their natural sweetness and adds a depth of flavor you won't get otherwise. And while they're in the oven, we'll sauté some onions and garlic.
Remember, we're not looking for color here, just that beautiful, sweet aroma. Once the tomatoes are done, put them in a pot with the onions, garlic, and some stock. Simmer it all down until it's thick.
Now for the star of the show, fresh basil. Don't you dare use that dried stuff. Chop it up nice and fine and stir it in at the end. Trust me, the smell alone will have everyone wanting some.
Listen up. Seasoning is crucial. This isn't some amateur cooking show. We need salt. And I don't mean a pinch. A generous amount to really bring out the flavors. And don't forget the pepper. Freshly ground, of course. A good amount of black pepper will add a bit of heat.
Now give it a taste. Is it balanced? Does it taste amazing? If not, adjust accordingly. Once you're happy with the seasoning, it's time to blend the soup until it's silky smooth. A good blender is essential here. You don't want any chunks ruining the texture. Finally, serve it up with a drizzle of cream and a sprinkle of fresh basil. There you have it. A simple yet elegant tomato basil soup that anyone could master. Now get to it. All right, you dessert lovers, let's finish strong with a classic chocolate chip cookies. These cookies are not just any cookies. They are the epitome of what a chocolate chip cookie should be. Imagine biting into a cookie with a perfect balance of crispy edges and a chewy center, loaded with chunks of rich, melty chocolate. Sounds heavenly, right?
But not just any cookies, mind you. We're talking about the best cookies you've ever tasted, the kind that make you close your eyes and savor every bite. The secret lies in the dough, and today, we're going to show you how to make it perfect. These are going to be the best cookies you've ever tasted. Trust us, once you try this recipe, you'll never go back to store-bought cookies again. The aroma alone will have everyone in your house gathering in the kitchen, waiting for a taste. Crispy edges, chewy centers, and loaded with chunks of chocolate. This is the ultimate cookie experience. The contrast between the crispy exterior and the gooey, chewy interior is what makes these cookies so irresistible.
First, cream together your butter and sugar until they're light and fluffy. This step is crucial because it incorporates air into the mixture, giving your cookies that perfect texture. Make sure your butter is at room temperature to achieve the best results. This is important for creating that perfect cookie texture. The mixture should be pale and creamy, which means it's ready for the next step. Don't even think about using a whisk for this. A whisk just won't cut it. You need an electric mixer to get that smooth, fluffy consistency. Get your electric mixer out and make sure it's properly mixed. This ensures that the butter and sugar are fully combined, which is key to achieving that perfect cookie dough.
Next, crack in your eggs one at a time, mixing well after each addition. This helps to emulsify the dough, making it smooth and cohesive. Each egg should be fully incorporated before adding the next. And don't overmix. We don't want tough cookies, do we? Overmixing can develop the gluten in the flour too much, leading to a denser, less tender cookie.
In a separate bowl, whisk together your dry ingredients, flour, baking soda, and salt. This step ensures that the leavening agents are evenly distributed throughout the dough, which is crucial for even baking. Now, slowly add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mixing just until combined. Remember, we're not making bread here. Overmixing at this stage can make the cookies tough. Overmixing will make the cookies tough, and nobody wants that. So, mix just until you see no more streaks of flour. Your dough should be soft and slightly sticky, perfect for scooping onto your baking sheet. Listen up, this is where things get interesting.
Fold in those chocolate chips, and don't be shy. We're talking generous handfuls here. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, go wild.
Once the dough is mixed, cover it and put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. This will allow the flavors to combine and prevent the cookies from spreading too thin while baking. While you're waiting, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit.
Now, scoop the cookie dough onto a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Make sure to leave enough space between each cookie as they will spread. Bake for 10 to 12 minutes or until the edges are golden brown and the centers are slightly soft. Let the cookies cool on the baking sheet for a few minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely.
And there you have it, perfectly baked chocolate chip cookies. And there you have it, 10 recipes that will not only impress your family and friends, but also make your time in the kitchen more enjoyable. From classic pancakes to delicious chocolate chip cookies, we've covered it all. Remember, cooking is all about passion, precision, and a little bit of tough love. Don't be afraid to experiment, make mistakes, and learn from them. Now get out of my kitchen and go create some culinary magic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more delicious recipes. Happy cooking!